Hello and welcome back to another Factorio tutorial. My name's Negative Root and let's get cracking. Today we're talking about efficiency and all different kinds of efficiency. You'll notice that I'm standing in a very efficient smart furnace. Now the first type of efficiency I'm going to talk about is space and space efficiency. You'll notice that this is very space efficient. There's not much gaps between it. That's pretty much the long and the short of it. Now I have something to say about space efficiency though. Often on the forums and on the Reddit, it's like, check out my space-efficient build, and it's like, yeah, and it's like really compact, and I'm like, so what? It sounds really mean, but I'm not impressed. Like, the map's infinite. The only time that you want to make a space-efficient build is if A, your map is restricted in size, or B, you're playing a super hard mode and you need to fit it into a tiny space. That's kind of the only times. So it is good, and you know, it's an impressive routing exercise. Some of those builds are just off the hook with how they've got the belts to work. Like, I must give props for that, because it is insane, some of it. So you know, that's the only caveat with space efficiency. You know, you can spread out. You know, you'll notice that over here things are pretty space efficient. There's not much gap between things, but it's a double-edged sword. You know, it looks really pretty and there's lots going on and it's a small amount of space, but to change things and upgrade things is a major headfuck. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about efficiency in terms of power. Now, power is an important thing in the game. It runs everything. Without power, you're screwed. So you'll notice currently that I've got solar panels. I've got lots of solar panels, and they're crunching out about 46 megawatts. Now, when you start the game, you generally start off with trees, and trees are great and they're good and they last you for a little bit. But something important to remember about trees is the actual fuel value. Let's go find a tree to chop down. Thank heavens I have lots of legs on this little armor build. Okay, so there we go. We got some of that. We'll just come over here and oops, I'm stuck. Sometimes the legs are too fast. And I'll just grab a piece of coal. Come here. Ah, gotcha. Piece of coal. There we go. And we need some solid fuel. Maybe no solid fuel is available. Let's just do it this way. So something to remember is that your fuel types actually have some fuel value attached to them. So when you're talking about efficiency, you're talking about getting the most bang for your buck, putting in the least amount of effort and getting the most work. Work is of course measured in megajoules, or joules in general. So you'll notice that raw wood has a fuel value of 4 megajoules. Coal is 8 at twice as efficient, and thank you bot, you're right on time, 25 megajoules for solid fuel. So when we're talking about efficiency, coal is more efficient than wood and solid fuel is more efficient than coal. Now next comes the big thing. Right now in the game at 11.1, this is the 11.1 update as evidenced by the funny looking running animation that has become synonymous with this update. Lots of people have complained about it. I still don't mind it. At this time of this update, we have two infinite resources. The first is the sun and solar panels. The second is oil and, by extension, solid fuel. When we're talking about efficiency, I believe that solar panels are more efficient than solid fuel. The reason being is these take 0 power to generate, and solid fuel does take power. You need to crack it, you need to process it, and then you need to get it there, and then you need to get it in a boiler, and then it creates pollution. So I believe that if you were to order these, you would have... Oops, I just fully pressed the wrong button. Raw wood as number 1, the least efficient. It'll get you out of a jiffy. It's great for the early game because you can get lots of it quickly. From there, coal is next. You can set up automated miners, you can pick it up off the ground, it's very straightforward. You can get in the boilers and you can get more bang for your buck. As you move through the game, you get some oil patches converting some of it into solid fuel is a good idea, because it is an unlimited resource, and if you struggle for oil, go find more oil patches. That's kind of how it is. You know, there's no way around that. And then once you get to a stage where you've got steel and electric circuits coming out your ears, you can switch over to solar power. It is a good idea to do solar power as soon as possible, because of negative feedback, and that's going to be the topic of my next video. So thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you then when we talk about negative feedback. Hell of a topic. It caught me out a little while ago, and I will try and find some examples. I'll catch you then.